Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Welcome to the July 21st Pine-Richland School Board Combined Meeting. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance standing. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mrs. Williams, roll call, please.
Mr. Morset?
Here.
Mrs. Hillman?
Here.
Mr. Kashani?
Here.
Mrs. Brusalis?
Here.
Mr. Cassidy? Mrs. Fortier? Mrs. Miller?
Here.
Mrs. Turchick?
Here.
Mr. Weethorn?
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Williams. Moving on to item 1.02, student and staff recognition. Mrs. Hassinger?
11 Pine-Richland students participated in the 24th Annual Mountaineer Cadet Officer Leadership School at Concord University in mid-June. Senior Tim Ha earned the Brigadier General Chuck Yeager Leadership Award, which was presented to the cadet who best personified the leadership and innovative spirit displayed by the first man to fly faster than the speed of sound. Tim also was selected as the cadet group commander. Junior Natasha Kusiak earned the Outstanding Flight Cadre Award, presented to a flight earning honor flight. And sophomore Jack Lewis earned the Outstanding Cadet Award for having the highest overall scores from all evaluations. A team of Pine-Richland Middle School students placed first at National TSA Teams competition held in Nashville in late June. Rising 8th graders Luke Guo, Jackson Lyon, Arav Patan, and Abaya Tuladar placed first on the multiple choice test, fourth in the design and build challenge, and fifth in presentation. The students competed against teams from 160 other schools in 4 events at the national competition. This Pine-Richland team previously placed second in the state competition to qualify for nationals. In recent, Pine-Richland High School graduate Jessica Boy earned the Certified Fundamentals Cook certification through the Culinary Arts program at A.W. Beatty this year. Awarded through the American Culinary Federation, this industry-recognized credential requires students to master core culinary skills, including food safety, knife techniques, and basic cooking methods, and to pass both written and hands-on practical exams.
Thank you, Mrs. Hassinger. Always good to hear, especially in the middle of the summer, so good to hear those. Okay, we move on to item 1.03, recognition of visitors. Do we have a list?
We do. We have 8, and I'm going to call those who haven't spoke. Well, no, never mind. I'll just go through the list. Sorry. Steve Cutenius is our first speaker.
Steve Cutenius, Pine Township, no children in the district. Welcome back, Mr. Weethorn. On March 17th, the board majority approved the new library policy following more than 14 months of public meetings, heated debate, and pressure from religious activists. It's now been 126 days since this policy was enacted, and yet not one single book has been formally challenged or requested for removal. This includes none of the 14 titles that you and supporters denounced last year as pornographic and vulgar. I emailed you and the entire board recently about this inaction. But today I'm going to remind you why we're here today and the public, what forced this policy through. So let me play for you some of the words that you spoke at the November 25th, 2024 meeting.
For those who want books such as Push in the Pine-Richland School District Library, please buy it and give it to your children in your home. Push costs $22 at Barnes & Noble, or about the same as the cost of a pizza. As a taxpayer, I don't want this in our schools. As a parent, I don't want my adult children to read this. And certainly as a minor child, I would have not permitted them to read this. As a member of this board, I will do all that I can to remove this book and others like it based on its vulgarity. Its absolute vulgarity. This book should not be in the Pine-Richland School District, readily available to 14 to 17-year-old minor students. As Pine-Richland School District strives for every student every day, this board should not ignore and dismiss the numerous parents who do not want books such as Push and such vulgar content made available to their children. That's why we're here.
Those were your words, your pledge, and your conviction. But here we are 4 months later, nothing has happened. This policy was marked as necessary to protect children has turned out to be a total and abject failure, not because it hasn't removed books, but because the process itself was built on political theater, not principle. You stirred division. You inflamed the community. You demoralized teachers. You disrespected administrators and students and undermined trust in this district just to pass a policy that you now refuse to use. So I ask you why? Why did you drag this district through months of chaos if you never intended to act? Why did you promise action and then go silent? Mr. Weethorn, you and the board majority owe this community an answer. Why did you lead this campaign only to abandon it when accountability arrived? The silence is telling, the damage is done, and this board should be held responsible for it. Mr. Weethorn, to help you break your silence, I now give you 3 minutes to answer these questions. That's why I am here. Thank you.
Next speaker, please.
Our next speaker is Stacy Coons.
Good evening. I'm actually here on behalf of my daughter, who could not be here. So I am going to read what she wanted me to read. She wasn't sure what to write about because I told her the meeting, the academic achievement meeting, was just about the 9 through 12 English curriculum. So this is what she sent me, and I'll read word for word. She says, "My name is Ava Coons, and I'm a rising senior at Pine-Richland High School. I have taken high-level English courses here at Pine-Richland, and I believe that the teachers that guided me throughout each course have contributed greatly to my development as a student and a person. Mrs. Dalverni and her Honors English 9 class further advanced my comprehension and writing skills, preparing me for my AP English courses down the line. She always put an admirable amount of time and energy into giving us feedback on our work in order to help us improve. Mrs. Harshman and her Honors English 10 class strengthened my public speaking and debate skills, something I had very little confidence in. She always had a smile on her face, reassuring me that my work was worthy. Mrs. Mitchell and her AP Language and Composition class expanded upon my writing skills, taking them to a level I never thought I could achieve. She devotes hours of her time to creating assignments for us, giving us feedback on our essays, as well as being a listening ear for her students, whether it's school-related or not. My senior year, I am taking AP Literature and Composition with Mrs. Fink. Although I have only had her for study halls, she has a sweet soul, and I have only heard excellent things about her. Each of the English teachers I have listed have influenced me to pursue secondary education as an English teacher after I graduate from Pine-Richland. They all demonstrate care, commitment, responsibility, respect, and encouragement in the classroom, which is exactly what I strive to be once I am in the classroom as a teacher. I believe that I speak for not only myself, but also my peers when I say that the ELA department at Pine-Richland High School is deserving of recognition for all that they do. Thank you so much for listening. And just to tack on, because I have time, she is currently at Westchester University at a very intense drum major camp with the other 3 drum majors. Otherwise, she would be here. And also because I'm sure she'll probably watch this since it's recorded. I love you, and I'm very proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Next speaker is Brianna Bear.
Bree Bear, Richland Road. We have 4 kids, about to have 3 in the district, so watch out, Hams. I'd like to revisit a question that I've asked before, as it's yet to be answered by this board. What will it take for you to revisit your failed policy decisions? I question the judgment of a board that refuses to recognize when they're in the wrong. Last year, you forced an overhaul to the counseling curriculum. As a reminder for anyone out there who forgot how this disaster played out, we watched this group argue incessantly over what satisfied the minimum curriculum requirements of the state. The minimum. In a top-tier district, that was this majority's aim, to give our students the absolute minimum. So not only did you strip everything possible away from this curriculum, you also forced it into an opt-in model, despite concerns raised by admin, counselors, and parents about the undue burden this would cause. Yet over 97% of families opted in. Clearly, the crisis you were attempting to manufacture about our counseling curriculum was an utter farce. once again showing how out of touch this group is with the community. Why then hasn't this been revisited? Regarding communications, I'd like a simple request about less emails reminding us about book acquisitions for those of us that are actually involved in our children's education and not just using parental choice as a catchphrase to ram through a bigoted agenda. We trust our librarians. We trust our children. While I recognize that no system's perfect, I'm comfortable having open conversations with my children about what they're seeing and learning in school. 3 emails in 12 days about books coming into the Hance Library alone seems excessive. Speaking of emails, when will the community get some more information on why Ms. Brusalis had her PA School Board Association email suspended? The PASBA, the nonpartisan organization founded over 100 years ago that was founded to help school board directors support their public schools. The organization that Ms. Brusalis and Ms. Hillman have represented us at for the last several years, where they've often voted against the best interests of both public education as a whole, as well as our district specifically. The group that Ms. Brusalis' Conservative School Directors Coalition was created to actively work against. Despite all this history over the last several years, you've only recently had your access revoked? What was their final straw? What line was crossed? The community deserves answers. We deserve more information about the actions being taken by our elected officials. Where's that transparency you all claim to care about? I'll end by inquiring about the egregious abuse of power taken by this majority ahead of the primaries, wherein you all signed on to a letter about voter information that was nothing but propaganda, sent from a candidate's home address, but with voter information listed as a name. Shame on you all for this blatant attempt to misguide the community. Mr. Solicitor, are you there? Are you being paid to wade in on such appalling misuses of power, to review blatant conflicts of interest? Or were you brought in, as this new board's first item of business a year and a half ago, no less, to stay quiet and let this group run rampant while collecting hefty checks for the chaos that's going on behind the scenes? This is ridiculous. No one should trust this majority to make a single decision regarding our children's education or the future well-being of this district. You have shown us time and time again that you're vastly misguided and unqualified, and I look
Your
forward
time
to
is
the
up.
day
Thank
each
you.
of you
Next
is
speaker,
voted
please.
out.
Your time is up.
Next speaker is Mike Barber.
Mike Barber, Richland Road. Speaking of voting out, let's vote out Ms. Brusalis, who's up for election this year. Let's vote in school directors that understand that they need to prepare thoroughly. Ms. Brusalis routinely brings cobbled together policies for a vote. It is hashed out and ironed out over hours and hours and hours of pointless discussion. And now she wants to force our educators to cobble together a new curriculum in a matter of weeks when she could have at any point stated, I want to kill a mockingbird to be a primary resource. Now, let's save that until we are weeks away from implementing, not just going over, but implementing. Now it's a concern. Now she doesn't have enough time. It's ridiculous. Can we please vote for school directors that are going to engage with our admin, engage with our public, engage with our students? And those candidates, if you live in Region 2, are literally A, B, C, anyone but Christina. The top 2 that will engage with you, in my opinion, are Amy Caffardi, who I will be voting for, and Melissa Vecchi, who I also will be voting for. I know they both have students in the school district. They are willing to speak with people all over the experience of the district. We need to vote in school directors that actually care about Pine-Richland and not, as Ms. Brusalis stated on a public conference, that she wants to spend her time connecting statewide directors. I want a director that's focused on connecting our students and our community with our school. Can we please get back to that? Vote ABC, anyone but Christina.
Next speaker, please.
Next speaker is Jen Buse.
Good evening, Jennifer Buse. I live in Richland. I have 4 children, 3 still in the district, and I am a taxpayer. 2 months ago, I wanted to bring that up, but our teachers at Pine-Richland overwhelmingly voted no confidence with the board majority. I've been thinking about what that means. 3 important pieces are implied by this sort of vote. A clear and forceful stand by overwhelming majority of teachers that trust is broken and there is no path forward. In looking back at the press release, Ms. Rosales, Ms. Hillman, Ms. Miller, Mr. Weethorn, and Mr. Morissette will have demonstrated their negligence in supporting and respecting our teachers. Our staff deserve to be supported with current and appropriate resources. Our counselors were not supported when the existing curriculum was denied until 2260 of 2,300 student families opted in, nor last summer when the decade-old English resource update for grades 6 through 9 was denied, or when the Angel of Greenwood vote was delayed for a year, then denied after the ELA team described how the book would fill learning gaps. Our beloved staff deserve to be respected by the board majority. Holding abusively long marathon meetings where counselors, teachers, librarians hope to inform the board majority only to disregard their success shown in student data and growth and dismiss their work without evidence or reason is not respectful. Voting against giving librarians 5 minutes to collectively speak this January on concerns with the book policy was insulting. It was outright rude during book policy meetings when Brusalis, Morissette, Hillman, Miller, and Weethorn deliberately and repeatedly refused to answer reasonable questions from librarians and administrators. How discourteous it must have felt when board director admitted publicly he hadn't read the 8 pages of librarian notes before the hastily forced book policy meeting. Claiming superiority over our ELA teachers constantly and distrusting any change in curriculum because the board denied Angel of Greenwood or maybe better alignment demands the change does not respect our staff. Statements that purport librarians were not following policy is disrespectful. The teachers have begged of this community by their vote of no confidence that we vote against this board majority for all 4 open seats in November. Anybody but Christina. Thank you.
Next speaker.
Next speaker is Claire Hudach.
Hi, Claire Hudach. I've been a resident in Pine Township for 39 years, mom of 4. I have 1 kid currently in the high school. I did not come here to speak. I came here just to see what was going on and became extremely confused. And Miss Christina, I had to put my name down when all of a sudden you kind of started getting fired up. You were saying something about your hands being tied, you weren't be able to do this in January, but I'm confused. Was it not you in January having everybody chase their tails for you could have done this in January. You were busy asking all these people to do things for you and you weren't listening to them. So I just was really confused about that. And you're spouting off saying, you're telling me we can't do changes. Nobody told you you couldn't do changes. They were lining out how difficult it would be to do changes. So nobody said you can't do changes. You said that your child couldn't read To Kill a Mockingbird. Nobody said your kid couldn't read To Kill a Mockingbird. So I had to come up here and say something because this is just I almost got a shiver down my spine that we were gonna go back to the last 14 months of you asking all of these workers to give you so much information and then you don't listen to it. Because I have one question. You had that tech question when you asked them how to bring up all that information and they showed you how to do it because you said you didn't have the paper copy. Am I to assume that you did not look at all their information before you came here? That's my question. I appreciate everybody's really hard work and dedication. Thank you very much.
Next speaker.
Next speaker is Rebecca Hoffman.
Hi, my name's Rebecca Hoffman. I also did not come here intending to speak. I just wanted to listen and see what fun we were going to have with English. I think that it's interesting that one person's opinion of what's necessary for adults, AP courses, I don't know, it kind of floats around what it's necessary for being a functional adult. Dictates what an entire district's going to do, including English teachers who made a presentation, worked for 2 years to say how they could improve their courses, but we didn't do what they suggested. But now we're supposed to do what you suggest. And you said, or someone said, that anecdotally some families said that in honors English, their student was only allowed to read 3 books. So I texted my daughter, who took Honors English 9 last year, and she read A Separate Piece, To Kill a Mockingbird, A Tale of Two Cities, Romeo and Juliet, and 2 summer reading books. So you can add that to the anecdotal list. And no worries, because Julie Wojcik couldn't be here tonight, but she asked her daughter, and her daughter, who's also in English 9 honors last year, guess what? She read 4 books too, plus the 2 summer reading. So you can average that out. I don't know, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. What was that? Oh, I said someone. Was I talking to you? I'm sorry. Okay, anyway, so add that to your data. Oh, should I mean, I guess I could just keep talking. I don't know. So you can add that to your list of families that you've talked to, at least 2 students in Honors English 9, and they weren't in the same class, so presumably their classes read 4 texts plus the 2 summer reading. So you can add that to your information. Have a great night.
Next speaker.
Our last speaker is Britney Kinderman.
I still can't hear her.
Hi, Britney Kindersmith, Richland Township. Before I forget, I just wanted to tack on to my academic achievement commentary. What I heard from Dr. Hernandez and Dr. Miller was that everyone would talk, they would take a look at it, we would try and get To Kill a Mockingbird added in to the academic English 9 curriculum, continuing then to make that ripple into other changes for other levels would be more difficult, is what I understood from that meeting. Mrs. Brusalis, you had some questions then about like, well, should we add something in so that it's, of an academic, same level of like bump up from what it was in the presented curriculum. Dr. H mentioned that they could use the anthology to supplement that. I also just wanted to say that I heard Dr. Miller talking about breadth and depth a lot. My assumption would be that in that other class, the depth would be different. So it would still be a difference. And I'm sure that the educators that are in that class understand that there's meant to be a difference and that they can achieve that without further requiring them to change another curriculum that they have put together. All right, separate from that, and putting on my happy PTO president hat, I just wanted to say for anyone who might be watching that we have brought back at Hance our summer read-alouds with the principal. So Mrs. Gearin on Thursday at 11:15 will be reading a book at the Hance outdoor classroom pavilion. We would especially love it for any incoming kindergarten students to attend who can, so it allows them to get more comfortable with the campus and the principal. The Kona ice truck will be there. The Gaga ball pit is installed, so that will be available. The playground is open, and we'll all be there hanging out from about 11 until 1, so do feel free to join us. Thank you.
Okay, that's it. We'll move on to item 1.04, correspondence. Mrs. Williams.
The board received a letter from the State Tax Equalization Board regarding assessment. The information contained in the letter does not have much of an effect on our tax assessed values because Allegheny County reflects market value with periodic reassessments. Over the past 3 fiscal years, Allegheny County has had a greater volume of reassessments due to a court ruling that lowered the common level ratio in the 2022 tax year. The following people emailed the board: Steve Cutenius regarding book ban requests, Stacy Coons regarding the July 21st, 2025 academic achievement meeting, Courtney Benson regarding bullying, Harry Sills to thank the board for not increasing taxes. Beth Klabaka regarding removing or reducing smartphone usage in school. And Lauren Edwards to thank the board majority for effective governance.
Okay, thank you. Item 1.05, minutes of approval. This is a motion, action item, motion to approve the meeting minutes as attached.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? No discussion. Move to vote. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. All opposed? Motion passes. Moving on to item 2, strategic plan. 2.01 is the strategic plan update. Dr. Miller?
It's just the last quarterly update from last year. If there are any questions, we'll be glad to answer them, but otherwise.
Any questions? No? Okay, we're good. Thank you very much. All right, item 3, consent agenda. This is an action item. It's a motion to approve the consent agenda, including items 3.02 through 3.05 as listed.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion on the consent agenda? None. With no discussion, move to vote. All in favor? Yes.
Yes.
All opposed? Motion passes. Moving on to item 4, finance. Mr. Kashani.
Item 4.01 is a motion to approve the financial reports dated May 31st, 2025, and accounts payable dated July 21st, 2025, in the amount of $131,101.54, and paid accounts for June, July in the amount of $520,886.67 as listed.
Second.
A motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion on this item? With no discussion, we'll move to a vote. All in favor? Yes. All opposed? Motion passes.
Item 4.02 is just a reminder that we do not have any budget transfers for the new school year until October, and that's per school code. And then 4.03 is a informational item to schedule some joint governance meetings between finance and various other subject matters. So we have it listed there. All those dates seem they're good with me. Does any date stand out to anyone that's not a good date for them?
Those are dates that are typical meetings with the board meetings? Yeah, then I'm fine.
So good. Okay. All
Okay.
right. I think, Dr. Miller, I think that's a good way to approach this. We have to, as we did last year, just have more meetings, try to get more granular this year in certain areas. So thank you for that.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mary. Moving on to item 5, buildings and grounds. Item 5.01 is subject projects update. Mr. Zimmerman, I think you're online for us.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Just want to hit the summer project list and kind of go over some of the progress we have. So as you all are aware, we have 2 very big projects going on right now, HVAC related, one at Wexford Elementary and one at Richland Elementary. Those projects are moving along according to schedule for phase 1, and next year will be phase 2. One of the updates for these projects is that the actual unit ventilators have been delayed in shipment. They're not going to ship until the 12th of August. So we are going through a contingency plan right now to keep moving along with the project, knowing that the units will come in late. We'll install those right before the kids get in, and those units will sit dormant for the first year, just like we did at the middle school. So the only thing that this impacts is originally for phase 1 at Richland Elementary, we were trying to get those unit ventilators up and running on the south-facing classrooms on the first and second floor in this first year. That's not going to happen due to parts or unit availability. So just to give everyone a heads up on that. One thing we're doing, since the units aren't arriving and that work will have to happen in year 2, is we're pulling some of the year 2 work forward into 2025. So we're doing some of the, all of the piping for the units that were going to be on the north side of the building. We're doing that this summer too. So we're not just being idle and not being ready for next summer. So, so we are a little disappointed that Richland won't have functional units for this first year, but we're working to make everything the best we can with it and not fall behind schedule for the overall project. Some of the other projects that are on here, the middle school competition gym. The painting was completed as of last Friday. We're in the process of installing backboards this week and doing some electric. And then we will be moving forward with getting the floors done starting end of this week and into next. So that project is on schedule. Also at Wexford, the contractor has been out to start getting all the data they need to get the bids ready for an October, November bid for the roof at Wexford. So that's on target. And as you can see, the rest of the project, there's a lot of small projects on there. And in addition to our HVAC project at Hance, which we want to start next summer, Tower Engineering is working on that as well. So a lot of things going on, a lot of different schools. If you have any specific questions, I can answer them at this time.
Terrazzo floor, Jeff.
Oh, I'm sorry. Terrazzo floor at the high school is going well. That crew has been on site every day since around the 11th of June, and they've got a lot of the colors down. We'll have the epoxy flooring will be fully applied by mid next week, and then we'll just be down to grinding, and then you'll be able to really see the colors start to pop. That's when all the stone chips and the glass in the mix will really make it look nice. Right now, it has just a plain epoxy look to it, but once they start grinding mid this week and into next, it'll really start to look great. That project is on schedule.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Zimmerman.
Okay.
All right. Item 5.02 is a discussion information item for board consideration at the August planning meeting. There will be a motion to approve the replacement of 2 pairs of doors in the middle school gymnasium by Unified Door and Hardware in the amount of $18,460. Item 5.03, this is a discussion information item for board consideration at the August planning meeting. There will be a motion to approve the replacement of motor and controller on an existing Juan accordion fire door in the high school cafeteria by Juan Door Corporation in the amount of $16,969.03. Item 5.04, information item. On June 9th, 2025, the board approved the change order authorized by the superintendent for up to a limit of $10,000 in the superintendent school board, subjectly for building grounds up to $25,000 for the RES and WS HVAC replacement projects. The change order is related to need to move a replacement of the chiller at Wexford Elementary School. The original placement would have been a fire department violation, so the change order is the cost of additional installation of the subcontractor, which I believe, Dr. Miller, you did approve because it was in your limit. All good. Okay, moving on to item 6, academic achievement. Mrs. Brusalis.
Item 6.01 is a motion to approve the purchase of the new library books for Hance Elementary School as attached.
Second.
A motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? With no discussion, we'll move to a vote. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All opposed? Motion passes.
Item 6.02 is a discussion information item for board consideration at the August planning meeting. Motion to approve the required high school ELA courses as attached. I'm wondering, given our discussion at the meeting earlier today, if do we need to amend that motion to exclude the 2 courses that we're still discussing?
I don't think we have information that says we should or shouldn't, right? We needed information to come back to us.
Yeah, it says as attached here would be the motion. So
Oh.
as attached is all of them. So, I mean, I suppose it could be attached without those, but currently in this information item, they're attached.
Right, but this is a discussion information item. There's no motion on the table, right? Yeah.
Talking about for the next
the
meeting.
motion would be
So the
to
motion would
approve
be for the next
With the
meeting,
exception of academic
I
English
understand
time.
now.
or those are not included in the list.
Yeah, and those 2 can become an information item. Agreed? Okay.
Well, I was just going to say, there's time between now and then. So how the motion will read at the August 11th meeting, I think will depend in part on what's accomplished between now and then. So I don't think we need to specify it now and then change it again.
Because the information's not coming at the last meeting, it's gonna come before the board.
Yeah,
members
I mean,
have that information.
the course that I had the most clarity on from our academic achievement meeting was one course, which was English 9. I know there was an outstanding question relating to Honors English 9, but that question, as I understood it, was specifically which books had been read by how many students in the Honors course. That was more of an inquiry for information. I didn't hear it through the academic achievement discussion as a direct, I didn't hear the same response from a majority of the board on that question. I thought we were narrowly focused on English 9 and getting the additional answer to the question, if we can, on which kids read which books in Honors English 9.
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Okay. Anything else on that?
Item 6.03 is a discussion information item for board consideration at the August planning meeting. Will be a motion to approve in accordance with policy 1091 library resources. The reading of library resources for Pine-Richland High School is attached. And 6.04 is a review of it's for discussion information, a review of the academic achievement joint governance meeting, which we had earlier, which somewhat touched on. Anything else to add to that?
All right, very good, thank you. Okay, moving on to item 7, student services, Mrs. Miller.
Okay, item 7.01 is an discussion and information item for board consideration at the August planning meeting. The motion to approve the independent study course as attached. Item 7.02 is a discussion and information item for board consideration at the August planning meeting. The motion to approve the 25-26 local education agency letter of agreement for Pennsylvania Education for Children and Youth Experiencing Homelessness program as attached. Item 7.03, discussion and information item for board consideration at the August planning meeting. The motion to approve the 25-26 AIU Title I Services Addendum as attached. Item 7.04 for discussion and information for board consideration at the August planning meeting. The motion to approve the trip requests to WPIAL Championships for the 25-26 school years as applicable per qualification. Item 7.05 is a discussion and information item for board consideration at the August planning meeting. The motion to approve the trip requests to PIAA state championships for the 25-26 school year as applicable per qualification. Item 7.06 for discussion and information for board consideration at the August planning meeting. The motion to approve the attendance and participation of the marching band, dance team, color guard, and cheerleading teams at PRSD varsity football playoff games and the cheerleading team at the PRSD boys basketball PIAA championship game should either team qualify. Item 7.07 for discussion and information for board consideration at the August planning meeting. The motion to approve the student attendance and application of the student discipline code for the boys basketball team to travel to Talmadge, Ohio from Friday, December 26th to Saturday, December 27th to practice at the University of Akron and play a game against the Talmadge High School as described in the field trip attached request form. And lastly, item 7.08 is a discussion and information item for board consideration at the August planning meeting. The motion to approve the purchase of a paraeducator online training licenses from the master teacher at a cost of $3,465 for the 25-26 school year.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Miller. Mrs. Miller, I'd like to move 704 to 707 into consent agenda, if it's okay with you, for
Yes,
next week.
okay. Actually, I did have a question about this last item, the master teacher. I'm not sure if that would that go to you? So is this something new, or is this something that we've done in other years?
It is a resource for our paraeducators. Master Teacher is a well-known resource. It's online supports and classes that our paraeducators can take. So it's a wonderful resource going through behavioral needs of students, talking about autism, and it's coursework that our paraprofessionals can participate in.
Yeah, it sounds really good. So how have the paras made use of that in the past? Have they, it's just
We have
on their
not. This
own?
is something
It
new.
is new.
Okay.
It's to augment gaps or assigned professional development for this, our second largest workforce group. So we designed professional development for our in-service days. We schedule that and work with ESPA over the course of the year. But there are specific needs with paraprofessionals that can be augmented through this. And so this gives us sort of the flexibility based on the different age levels and needs of students to assign or provide opportunity
Correct.
to targeted trainings.
So would they do this on in-service days, or they would do this on their own?
It could be either. Nothing would prevent them from electing to learn and do things on their own. We maximize the use of our time in in-service days. So some of it may be assigned through in-service, some of it may be assigned for different reasons. So,
Okay.
but nothing would prevent them from using it even more.
Right, I was just trying to get an idea of
Yeah.
how it's intended, and so is it?
I would say both. Yes.
Okay. So is it something that you will present to the paras and say, we would like you to do X, Y, and Z?
Certainly, we would roll it out with the para educators and present it to them. Definitely. And it's based on, it could be based on student needs. It could be based on a student that they're working with specifically. So there's tons of benefits of this program.
Sure, so if there's like a specific issue that's coming up for paras that might need a little extra, like
Some
instruction on
behavioral
how-
interventions, right.
Okay. So how would they know which ones?
We
to
would
go?
roll it out and we
Okay.
would work directly with them.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Okay.
So I'm glad I asked my questions, because this was new.
Absolutely.
Mrs. Williams, did you get that consent agenda items?
7.04 through 707.
Thank you. Okay, very good. All right, moving on to item 8, staff services, Mr. Weethorn.
Item 8.01 is a motion to approve the PREA, PRESPA, personnel, and athletic, non-athletic supplementals as attached.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion on this item?
Yeah, I have a question on the personnel items. For, under administration for professional employees, and then there's one under temporary professional employees, we have 2 hires for gate teachers. Are those teachers teaching any other core classes? And I'm not sure who I'm directing this to. Are they teaching other core classes, or are they being hired just specifically for gate?
These are both for gifted and talented enrichment specific positions.
Oh, so they're just gate teachers. And do they receive any type of training or certification?
There's not a certification in Pennsylvania. There is training, and these individuals have significant background in gifted education that they're bringing in.
Okay.
Yeah, just to clarify the certification point, there is a certification requirement, but there is not a gifted and talented, like specific. So essentially,
Got it.
any instructional certification permits somebody to teach gifted in
Okay.
Pennsylvania.
All right, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, so with nothing else, we'll go to a vote. All in favor? Yes.
Yes.
All opposed? Motion passes.
Item 8.02 is a motion to approve the memorandum of understanding between Pine-Richland School District and Pine-Richland Education Support Personnel Association as attached.
Second.
A motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? With no discussion, we move to a vote. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. All opposed? Motion passes.
Item 8.03 is a motion to approve the third and final reading of Policy 707, use of facilities as attached.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? With no discussion, move to vote. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. All opposed? Motion passes.
Item 8.04 is a motion to approve the third and final reading of Policy 815.2, artificial intelligence as attached.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? With no discussion, move to vote. All in favor?
Yes.
All opposed? Motion passes.
Item 8.05 is a motion to approve a third and final reading of the miscellaneous batch of policies listed below as attached.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion on these batch policies? No discussion. Move to a vote. All in favor? Yes.
Yes.
All opposed? Motion passes.
Item 8.06 is a motion to approve a second reading of the pooled mini batch of policies listed below as attached.
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion? No discussion. Move to a vote. All in favor? Yes.
Yes.
All opposed? Motion passes.
Item 8.07 is a discussion information item for board consideration at the August planning meeting. Motion to authorize the superintendent and director of human resources to hire professional staff and support staff after August 11th, 2025, to be formally approved by the Board of School Directors at the August 25th, 2025 regular and September 15th, 2025 combined board meetings. Item 8.08 is a discussion and information item for board consideration at the August planning meeting. Motion to approve the 2025-2026 independent contractors working through psych services as attached.
I have a question on that one. So in reading the contract agreements, it does say for the evaluation or reevaluation and I think services as needed. What would those services be?
Specifically, we do use the contract for gifted evaluations, but it's an as-needed basis. So keeping that in mind based on the number of evals that we have to do, because we are under legal timelines to complete those evaluations.
So beyond evaluations, there's
Right.
nothing else that they're
Correct.
contracted to do? Okay.
Well, along with that, it might be that they're counseling with the student, but again, that would be with parent permission.
Okay.
Nothing else? Okay. All right, moving on to operational services, item 9, Mrs. Turchek.
Okay, item 9.01 is for board consideration at the August planning meeting, motion to approve the renewal of software applications listed below for a total cost of $140,803.58 for the 25-26 school year. Item 9.02, for board consideration at the August planning meeting, motion to approve the disposal of technology equipment as presented on the attached list.
Okay, thank you.
Just one question.
Question, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just curious, Sean. GoG Guardian, that cost has creeped up since we first, I think, started to use it. What's the main driver of that?
When we originally went with GoG Guardian, we did not have the beacon service. We've added that. So knowing that the cost has risen a few percentage points every year, I did engage with them after they provided a quote, and they provided the attached quote for a 3-year agreement at a savings. But GoG Guardian has been a tool that our teachers have used and certainly has expanded over the years. They've added features for classroom management, and also our administration team has been able to utilize this for student discipline and kind of helping to view what the students are doing on their Chromebooks. So the tool has changed over the last 6 or 7 years, and definitely the cost has changed with that as well.
Well, I remember we did a pilot, I think it was, and then we decided to subscribe to it. And is it getting smart, or either are we getting smarter, or is it getting smarter in how we use it? Because I know there were some false positives. On it would catch a student searching on something and think that they were worried about harming themselves. It would send an email to the parent. Are we learning from all that?
Yeah, it certainly, I would say, Mark could probably speak to the number of beacon alerts, but it certainly has improved as we've refined the categories. Are definitely less false positives than there have been in the past.
And we're more familiar with what course assignments, projects, or classes might lead to activities that could do
trigger.
that. So we're more familiar
Right,
with
there
the
might be
tool.
certain things that kids might be searching that might be related to something that they have to write for health class, and we'll work directly with the counselors and the teachers if we know if that's going on. But there have been incidents where we might receive a beacon alert where it is definitely a concern, and we've reached out to the families. They've also received that alert, and we actually help support those students.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you. So it sounds like then we're renewing for 3 years as an attempt to reduce expense. Other than that tactic,
It's certainly one of the best tools available. So it checks the box for content filtering. It checks the box for keeping our students safe. Classroom management, a huge aspect of it. Our teachers can engage with students in ways that wouldn't be possible without it. So as a tool, keeping students on task, it's one of the reasons why our Chromebooks are as powerful as they are. So teachers can push links and keep students directly on. So some of those features didn't even exist when we first had the tool. So it really has evolved with the nature of online learning, and has really added the features and the benefits to keeping students focused and on task.
okay, all right, thanks.
Any other questions? Okay, we'll move on to item 10, board business. Reminder of the Board of Education Senior Leadership Team Workshop, which will be held on August 11th, beginning at 5 p.m. to discuss key initiatives for the 2025-2026 school year and budget reporting. There will be a dinner. What I see happening, I'll just remind everybody at least, and I think Dr. Miller, you would agree, the kind of things we'll discuss here is the 2025-26 budget to actual variance reporting. So how do we want that to look at in the future? So Mr. Jeswick will be, sharing with us his ideas, how he could share it with us. We'll go through some discussions to make sure that we're all in alignment on how that should be presented. And then also, we should focus on 26-27, what will be, future-focused approach to address the structural changes, because we got to start thinking about how are we going to look at these going forward and stuff. Not that we're going to say, here's what we plan to do, but how will we go about looking for items and what kind of things we should think about. The last thing, I think, and we spoke about this previously when I was meeting with you and Mr. Glickman and Dr. Pasquinelli, is, future committee meetings. Do we want to structure them differently than how we do governance meeting now, with more of a, I think you did in the past, you had like committee meetings where you sat almost a round table, I think it was mentioned, or something to that effect.
Yeah,
Not to say that we will, but it's open for discussion with the board members to say if we want to do something different.
Yeah, I think the critical thing, because it is a workshop and it's not open to the public, there's no deliberation about anything. It's more informational discussion.
Right.
The committee meeting, it was just like tonight's Academic Achievement Committee meeting. The difference would be those tables would be pushed back. We'd have a horseshoe or something here, and the board members who were participating and any staff members who were involved in that particular topic would be in more of a working together kind of
Yeah, so we can discuss
proximity.
to see
Yep.
if that's feasible, to see if that would help in the future. So those are the things that I think we're thinking about using for the workshop. Okay, moving on to item 11, meeting closing. Any reports? No reports? Dr. Miller?
Yeah, celebration. Soon, and very soon, the annual report will come out from the last year, and that is the one in-print publication that we share with our community. And it's really an incredible collection of achievement, growth in the classroom, outside of the classroom. It's awesome. And so I just encourage everyone in our community, when that comes, to spend some time with it. If you are not proud of our district after working through the annual report, I don't know what the expectation would be, because it is just incredible to see and how all of that is captured and displayed. And so really great work from a whole team of people. But Aaron, thank you. And it should be coming out in early to mid-August. Yeah, okay.
Very good. Thank you. Okay, move on to item 11, meeting closed. We did that already. 11:02, recognition of visitors. Mrs. Williams, how many do we have?
We have one
One. Here or
Yeah.
online?
here,
Okay.
Marcy Fisher.
Okay.
Marcy Fisher, Richland Township. I'm sorry, it could have taken me my whole 3 minutes to just get through the chairs. But I just thought I'd speak just about the academic level 9 for 9th grade. My son took mostly classes outside of that for English, but there was one time he was in the academic level English that we tried that. And I just wanted to say why a parent might choose that for their son in coordination with the guidance counselor. Sometimes it's that the student wants to increase rigor in a lot of the other coursework, and so they may choose more rigor in math or social studies or science or German or anything else. And maybe English is the thing that takes them too long to write, or write papers or read. And sometimes there's students with disabilities in those classes too that might need support, or there's a myriad of reasons why someone might choose that level, and to increase rigor in that level, to have them read more books. And sometimes there's an illness or something that makes it hard to cram more into that level. So that might be a reason why a parent might not want that, just from what I've seen. Some students may benefit from more time on one text rather than having many texts they have to read. And I guess I personally don't understand the focus on reading the book To Kill a Mockingbird. I have a master's degree in speech language pathology with a successful career. I've never read that book. I don't know what I've missed, but everybody, I've gone to college and graduate school, and I've read a lot of books that maybe someone else didn't read. So I don't know why that one is so particular, and maybe that could be offered, but I don't understand the perseveration on that. So I just thought I'd give that perspective about that discussion. Thanks.
Thank you. That's it. Okay, move on to item 12, adjournment. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.